Welcome to the journey. I'm Reverend Bobby, and today I have the most wonderful person with me, Tonya Freeman Brown. How are you today, Tonya?
Blessed and just happy to be here in your presence on your platform. Thank you so much for inviting me. I
Thank
appreciate
you so much for having the time for me in your red. Red is a very vibrant color. It says love and fire and compassion, all those things that you are.
and all those things I work to be better
Yes,
at.
you do very hard. Okay, tell us a bit about you, a little snippet.
Oh, well, a little snippet about myself. Once again, I'm Tonya Freeman Brown. My maiden name is Freeman. My married name is Brown. I was married for a few years to a really great man who transitioned in 2001. So I've been on the market since 2001. I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana. I am a Jane of all trades, um, a master of many, and I enjoy adventure. I enjoy writing, singing, and just having a great time. And I'm on this self mastery journey with you, and I'm mastering self. So
Tell
that's
me,
all about me.
tell me a bit about the self mastery journey. How did that start, and what is it doing for you?
Very deep, very big question. Um, I can Let me be as concise as possible. For me, I awakened to self mastery on when I became a part of a metaphysical congregation, and we studied metaphysics, and um, the perspective of God is within you. Um, all is you, and that this journey is about mastering you, the aspects of me, you, I, and the value that all of those aspects bring in the self mastery journey. As you said, this is a journey. So I was raised and brought up in a church where hellfire and brimstone was preached. Um,
You probably needed some with your little self.
Actually, yeah, but no. When I
I'm
realized,
teasing with you.
I know you did. I know you are. It was for me. Um, there was something about it that didn't connect with me because it was just so fearful, fear
Hmm.
based. But that was part of my journey.
Yes.
Understand the contrast in terms of religion. Where is it coming from? Who's talking about it? Doing the research, breaking it down. Metaphysics invited me to the allness of God, and that I'm a part of that. I am that in physical manifestation, and I'm all the things that Jesus was, or Yeshua. As you begin to break that down and find out that most of the material and the information in the biblical context was doctored and it was experimented with, and then you go down a whole bunch of different rabbit holes. And my background was in the Baptist church, and I actually moved away from that into more the indigenous religious practices, just exploring divine science and metaphysics, and not Christian science, but the dogma of church and the dogma of all those things, congregations and institutions, is something that I try to not separate myself, but have certain boundaries in place because that's just not who I am anymore. Although I do participate on some level with it, but I just keep it in context and bring it back to center, which is me.
Well, sometimes once you start the spiritual journey, and it's about you and yourself. It's a lot of the other stuff that, I mean, it's just really no longer needed for you and the path, that you're on, and it's okay. But how do you kind of deal with that? With that half a step outside of things, walking in a place of your own.
It feels liberating, and there's some confinement and some restrictions along the way, but that's a part of, I found out, or it's a part of the growth process. Coming from a Baptist background gave me a foundation, but it was a lot of judgment and criticism in that. So that exists within me.
Mm-hmm.
So how could I move through that and be more compassionate, as you said earlier, more empathetic to myself on this journey, that I will make error. I will error, because that's a part of it, but not to beat myself up about it, not to compare myself to other people, and the weight of what this society can do to you mentally, emotionally, and physically, and spiritually, is to find your footing with yourself and stand strong on it, and that takes work.
What do you do? What do you pull on when it starts to feel heavy? Because I know sometimes it might, start to feel heavy because you walking in a place where you take responsibility for yourself, your actions, your thoughts, and all that. And what do you draw on to keep you in that space? Because I know it's deep. I know it's deep. It got to be.
For me, it can be a struggle with the self. It's a battle, but putting the battles in context and know that I don't want to be fighting against myself. So I have to go in, and I've learned through certain tools of prayer and meditation, um, leaning on people of faith that's on the journey with me, bouncing things off of them, like yourself. And you're really great at holding the mirror. You're really great at taking responsibility and accountability. So having other people that are doing the same things, those are the things that I pick up along the way. Not to say that there won't be days of tears and laughter. That's part of it. But I know that I have to remind myself that it's doesn't happen all the time. It's temporary. And learning how to manage my emotions and manage um, my reactions to things, to people, places, and conditions that I cannot control. That is a part of it. Mastering that and staying in my power, and that's something that's I'm evolving towards more on my journey of self mastery. Is no one can knock me off unless I allow them to knock me off my square. And sometimes, you want to get down with people, and that red can turn into fire, and you want to burn it up. But I realize that having those emotions, it's okay to have them, but they should not lead life. They should not lead your life. Anger, grief, that shouldn't be the leader.
It's like the feelings and the emotions, they're valid.
Oh, absolutely.
When you feel off a kilter, or when you grieve and have to do um, go through the grieving process, so that you can grieve healthily, because these things come along in life that blindside us. I know it could be a person transitioning, a job, a whole lot of things, and to walk it through without anything is kind of like, I guess, denying the fact that we're human. But even in that, you know, what do you feel as you continue to evolve and stay more and more balanced throughout your walk, throughout your journey?
I feel powerful, more empowered with myself, and I can I can see my growth. I can feel my growth. Um, and the more that I am granted and allowed to move in life and in chronological numbers, uh, age is what they call it in this dispensation. You know,
Mm-hmm.
ageism, and I'm granted with more time and more years, and you like most of the stuff don't even matter. You know, most of the things that we are witnessing that gets a rise out of us, and um, we've our historically and ancestrally, we've our ancestors moved to worse, right? So
Yes.
I'm blessed to be able to inherit some of that sustainability through the worst of life.
Well, well, I know that you know just by right of you being here. Um, Not only that, but you inherited the sustainability and a lot of wisdom, a lot of prayers that you're standing on. I was sharing with a friend of mine that, you know, when we were the answer to a lot of prayers today, we walked through them Morehouse and Spelman gates. You
Mm-hmm.
know, not only did we dream, but we were the answer to a lot of dream, man. And I already know the answer to this question, but do you feel some responsibility to like our ancestors who fought and clawed and all those things just so we could be here today talking to each other and you be all cute and red and stuff?
Yes, I feel some responsibility to the lineage to clear up some things, and that's a responsibility, right? To clear up and clean the bloodline
Mm-hmm.
of those who gone on before, they came before, and they move forward in in their own development. So yeah, I do have a sense of responsibility for myself to represent the bloodline in in a higher way.
Now, how about right here and now? You know, because you do a lot of things. You do some healing work and all those things. And I guess they start to develop as you move through your metaphysical practice.
Yes.
Tell me something about that work, because I know you did the bowls with me one day.
Yeah, I did. So in my my healing journey has been ongoing, but I think that because we have a responsibility to ourselves and to our lineage, some of the things that we've inherited and carried are things that can be healed and things that can be cleared.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I didn't realize that until my own healing journey through breast cancer back in 2009. I found my own lump that led me on a journey even more into myself. I was in the on the metaphysical journey of the road. I was attending Church of the Holy Spirit with Reverend Dr. Christopher Bazemore, where I was taught in the practitioner training that you could create your own healing modality, meaning, first of all, you use the word. The word is what's gonna can heal you. Spiritual insight. There are different tools you meet or get along the way, but more or less intuition and building that and growing the intuition. So through that, um, when I was diagnosed with breast cancer, um, I was able to use the power that I had of my own voice to speak truth, my truth, standing on that with the physicians to let them know what I wanted to see, the process and the healing I wanted. So there were different people on my medical team, but there were people on my spiritual team as well, visible and invisible team,
Mhm.
which guided me through that process. And out of that, I came into my healing journey through massage therapy, losing my job, trying to figure out what's next. I was able to take time off.
Mhm.
And through that, I went through massage therapy school in 2010 and practiced massage for about 10 years. Found the healing bowls and singing bowls through that. So hands-on healing is very powerful and effective. I've learned Reiki, I've learned healing touch, and not only just the physical manipulation of tissue, body, tissue, skin, but the energetic manipulation or um, conduction of energy from hands on, hands off work. That was significant in my journey. So I it opened me up to a whole world of sound. You can heal with sound. You can heal with touch. You can heal through your senses. You can heal through rest, and it's just a really vast network of things that I could do with being a healer. You know, using my voice, using my hands. Yeah.
Now, did the significant part and the mastery of your healing prowess and the different modalities that you are um, learned on and master at, did they develop the same time as you were doing your healing walk journey after it, kind of simultaneously?
Simultaneously. So I already had it. It just took the experience to activate it.
So you mean all of these wonderful powers, and boy, you smiled and like, a minute ago when I asked you about how all of those things and overcoming made you feel, you said it made me feel powerful, and you lit up like the sun yourself.
I am the sun.
You are the sun, and you walking in your power. And what differences has it made as far as just day to day living and stuff? You walking in your power versus trying to find your power.
Yeah, I'm the one that's driving the ship. So, I got
That's that responsibility stuff again.
yeah. So when you're driving the ship, you're more conscious of how you show up. I don't
Tell
want to
me
go off the
more.
rails.
You don't want to go off the rails.
Oh, I done been off the rails.
Right, right, right.
Yeah,
And
intuitively,
yeah,
you feel more powerful. I felt more powerful and empowered. Um, and it lights you up. It turns you on. So the more turned on I am, the more empowered I feel, the more that I feel I can do anything. But that with that responsibility, you have to still abide by the rules of the universe, the rules, the way the game is played, is self-management. So when everything around me may be imploding or falling apart, it's like, you know what, this is not gonna last long. It may be uncomfortable. However, I'm gonna take that, remember those times in the past where I was at the brink of death. I had my life in my hands. So it's like, well, How are you going to choose? So I'm going to choose life every time. I'm choosing life every time.
Well, the thing I know, I say this to you sometime when you be trying to go off the rails, and I just tell you, well, you've already accomplished
Mm,
Jesus's greatest demonstration in overcoming death, and so that in itself, I know you just stay there for a minute and say, "Wow, I got through this." You know, I pulled on what I had in me, the life in me to come forth. Um, and now you get to share it with other people. What's that do for you?
and, and intuitively, I've learned through this process of the journey and self mastery and development is that you don't have to say much. You just show up. And then, unless you're presented with an opportunity, I am presented with an opportunity to say something. I Because I am a talker, I have to really manage that part of myself because everything ain't worth responding to. Everybody is not worth talking to. Some people just have to experience life. They will experience themselves in this life. Um,
Yes.
and then if you show up powerful, there are people who look at that and they want to tap in. And I got to create that boundary around myself. No, you're not going to even try to tap in and find out what my kryptonite is. Although sometimes that may be necessary, right?
What part of your interactive lesson thing is, you know, put that bad boy back in the lid thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I share when I feel like it, when I'm led to share. But most of the importantly, right now, I'm on a self preservation journey and maintaining agelessness about myself. And with that, it may, calling back the power and the energy to self and not responding to the little things. For me, my Achilles is driving people who are not conscious of what they do behind the wheel, and sometimes that triggers me. Um,
I've been your roadie in the car going to work. She's telling the truth, everybody.
I, yep, said a few things, and uh,
Felt a few ways.
yeah, but then there's some days it's like, okay, go ahead. It's no competition out here. I'm not trying to beat you, but but if you try to endanger my existence from their stupidity and foolishness, then I have a problem with that. But even with that, I'm listening to this audiobook that was recommended to me called "Let Them" by Mel Robbins. Is really good. It's just like when people talk about you, let them. When people cut you off in traffic, let them. When I'm driving down the street yesterday and this guy standing on the neutral ground. So in New Orleans, the median is called the neutral ground.
Right.
And he's standing up there giving me the finger in the neutral ground. I was like, I don't know you. You don't know me, but you're giving me the finger. Let them.
He had to express himself in the moment, I guess. Lord have mercy. But that's something I had to find out in a lot of different ways because sometimes people would look at me and you'd be thinking you had to be that to them, which they see you as. But you're already that when you show up. You don't have to do nothing, like you said. It's just showing up. And for the rest of it, allow them. Well, it's like the thing I know is that I don't need to be trying to stop them. I don't need to be trying to encourage them because whatever it is, it's gonna play out for whatever reason it's supposed to play. And I'm getting pretty good at that because I'm one who never ever had the New Thought disease. Do you know the New Thought disease?
No, tell me.
Yeah, the New Thought disease is where you have the answer to everybody else's life while your life is for poot. And I never had that disease because my life was for poop. And I was trying to fix it up by acting like I had some sense, girl.
Right.
But in allowing others, even sometimes to their detriment, when I know that I could say something, it might just be the "thy will be done" type
I
stuff, you
will
know.
be done. That's it.
And I could leave it there. And
I knew I heard.
the dog eating your ankle.
No, I heard some growling and then, and I'm like looking around. Hold on for a second. Come here.
You know she wanted to be on the camera with you. You
Mm-hmm.
know, but is it difficult for you to just let people be, or is it starting to get easier for
It's
you?
starting to get so much easier because I can't be bothered.
Oh well, my. Bottom line, right?
I can't be.
Not when you on the journey you on for yourself and your self preservation, because half that stuff ain't helping you preserve nothing but some headaches.
Yeah, I was Captain Saber.
Me too, but such is life.
The only, can I say it?
The only hole you saving now is you. But you was a little cute one in red and stuff. So save her, save her, save her.
You said it. I don't even have you. I'm the only one, so like
I
you need to
mean,
save yourself.
and that's what it's about, because sometimes as I allow the people to be who themselves, save me from fishing to think what I'm finna think about them. Just save me from running that thought through my head, because I know the charge on that thought is going to affect me.
Talk about that. The charge.
Talk about it.
Yeah,
Well,
charge.
the charge. Like when you go and turn your nose up and be having some stuff to say about something you see, somebody got on some. It sets up a charge within you. Um, one that just puts out what it puts out, whatever it is. People have different terminologies for it, plus, minus, positive, negative, whatever. But it's all just like you said earlier, energy. But one must take into consideration that the energy, the charge on whatever you put forth, is that which then goes out into the ether,
Mm.
turns around, and returns to you.
Woo.
Press down. Ooh. Sing together. Ooh. And running over. Ouch, ouch, ouch. So 90% of the time, we're the ones that initiate the whoop upside our own head.
Mm.
Now, how did you feel when you found that part out?
Oh man, it's like I was trying to play the victim.
Uh-uh.
Yeah, I was trying to play the victim. That oops upside the head, boy. I didn't, we didn't had those moments where I had a oops upside the head moment. And yeah, it was
Yeah.
valuable lessons
Yeah.
learned. It was growth.
Yeah.
It was, yeah, there's no other power but me.
Yeah.
So I called that into my existence and
Yeah.
I had to figure my way out.
Yeah. There,
Above.
there is, yeah, there is no other power on you. You are the power.
Mm.
You are the expert on you. You are. I was talking to my buddy about sales and stuff. We used to call, instead of brand, and we used to call it your unique selling point. Back in the day,
Mm.
and that unique selling point is always you, because people don't care about what you got. People buy you and you alone.
Wow.
Now, say something profound to go along with how good you look today to take us out of here, since our journey for today is just about over.
Wow. I'm gonna just say, thank you so much for this opportunity, one. And self-mastery is the road to self-awareness, enlightenment, joy, peace, love, all those things. And just to stand on that power, which is you, in you as you, working through you. You are the divine light of God that never fails, the eternal light of God that never fails. And that person is you. Whether you exist in this body, in this, it's the eternal that's incarnated. So to be that is to be everything.
The answer is you. Well, thank you so much, my dear Tonya Freeman Brown. This is Reverend Bobby, and from Reverend Bobby and Tonya Freeman Brown, we both wish, pray, and demand from the universe that your journey be well. Peace.
Peace.